So we're going to start with the glue that comes in your makeup kit, and we are going to put this on almost all of the eyelid up until a little past your crease. So once you feel that bone on your eye, you're going to go a little bit past that. So not quite all the way up to your brow bone, but almost. And then we are going to start with the lighter champagne color in Trance, and we are going to put that all over in our crease. So we're going to go a little under that bone and a little on top of it. We're going to use it's the flat paddle brush, the bigger one, and you're going to just pat all over your crease. It's important to not swipe, but to pat so that it doesn't look chunky. And we're going to make sure that we're blending after every single step. I mean, I probably blend more than you're going to, but I'm just anal about it. So you're just going to make sure that you're, again, going back and forth in small patting motions to make sure that that is nice and bright as a transition between your gold and the sparkle that we're going to do on top later. The next color we're going to use is the gold, and it is called Dainty. And we're going to put this all over our lid. So the glue that's already on there will still be sticky, and we're going to, again, use the same brush. I just flip it over. You can wipe it off if you need to. But we're just going to pat, again, to keep it from getting thick and chunky looking, and just pat in small, quick motions. And then I'm going to dip my brush again and turn the brush over so we can reach right up next to that lash line to make sure that we have all of the area covered. The gold is the star of the show. And if you need to go back with Trance, you can, to help blend. And then we're going to go in with our black eyeshadow, Twilight. Now this is the scary part that makes everybody nervous, but the most important thing to remember is to start with the littlest amount that you can, and you can always build it up, but it's really hard to take it off once it's on there. Since your gold eyeshadow is already on there, you can swipe this a little bit more, but I wouldn't dig at your eyes. Make sure that you're still tapping on there, but you can sweep lightly since you're not directly on the glue. You're going to start in a V motion and just go a fourth of the way into your eye. If you have smaller eyes, I would just do a tiny bit in the corner, and then if it looks okay, you can go a little bit farther in. If you have bigger eyes, you're going to go in a little bit farther than people with small eyes do. But just use your best judgment, because it's people's fear to look like they got punched in the eye. But if you just watch what you're doing, it'll be easy to keep that from happening. Like I said, once you dip your brush in there, tap it off really, really good, and just start with the littlest amount, and then you can keep adding to it to make it darker until you're happy with it. As you can see, I have some pretty harsh lines with my black, so I'm going to go back in with my gold and my Trance color and make sure that those lines are blended out. With the gold, I just tap right there back by the black, and you can still kind of see the black through, but it turns it into a grayish color to help blend that out. And then go back in with Trance just so that line isn't so harsh. And that'll also help avoiding the panda eyes. And I just always back up and look at everything and make sure I'm 100% happy with it before I move on. And I'm going to go back with that Trance color. And I'm going to kind of put it above where I had placed glue before to kind of help it transition. And then, again, just look and make sure I'm happy with it. Then we're going to go back in with the glue. And we're going to use this 24 karat sparklet, I think is what it's called. And, again, we're going to be really careful with this, just like we were with the black, because it can very easily become too much. So we're going to put our glue on our brow bone, go all the way up to the eyebrow, and stop about 3/4 into your inner eye. And you're going to take a shorter, kind of fluffy brush, and you're going to tap it into your 24 karat, and you're going to tap it off. And then this is one that you really do not want to swipe because it will turn chunky easily. I probably would have been okay with just doing that right there, but I wanted to go back in and add a little bit more. And there was some black on my brush that got on my eye, but again, just make sure you're tapping this and don't swipe. And the more you tap, the thicker it gets. So just make sure that you keep that, nice and light taps. Don't push really, really hard. And you don't have to tap as much as I did. It's just supposed to be a light sparkle. Now, if you have darker skin, I would be very, very careful with this also. And I would probably only do one layer. I'm a very pale person, so it's not going to show up on me as bright as it would darker skin people. And then I'm going to go back in with Trance again and get that black part off my eyebrow bone. And go back in with Trance and just help that transition better. We want everything to flow and not be choppy and have sharp lines. Then I'm going to go back in with our gold colored Dainty and just reapply that, since we've had some stuff that could fall down on it and take away some of its gold. So we're going to apply that one more time and make sure that it's as bright as we want it. Then we're going to take our felt tip eyeliner and we're going to apply a small thin line. I mean, if you want thick eyeliner, that's up to you. Again, it's what looks best on your eyes. But the thicker your eyeliner is, sometimes it makes your eyes look smaller and can make them look more closed in, especially with the black eyeshadow on the corner. So just be careful with your eyeliner. And make sure that when you're applying it, using the tip of the eyeliner. Don't try and use the whole side of it, or it can get messy. So instead of doing a full wing, we're just going to do a small flick at the end of our eyeliner. You're going to follow your natural eye line and just flick it up towards the corner of your eyebrow. And you're going to just do small flick motions to create that small flick on the end. If it's thicker than you want or is down too low, you can always take a makeup wipe and remove that. I suggest doing your eyes first in case you have any fallout, and you can wipe it off easily with a makeup wipe and you won't have to start all over on your foundation. Then we're going to go in with mascara, and if you're like me, it can end up on the top of your eyelids because my eyelashes are really long. And if that happens, just let it dry completely and then go back in with a Q-tip and it comes off easily. Just don't push too hard. And there is our finished look. If you have any questions, feel free to text me.